put Nefa in charge of all my work for today, so we can go play with Knuckle Duckle.
漂泊上，无穷风雨，你问我谁为何活？不为黎明就断肠，望着不尽来这场，风中作写几幅你或云或字为笔下，望听袖草风望月。
Looks like you get what you pay for, huh? Paimon likes this room a lot. Yeah, much better now that we're out of the cold. Oh, thanks for taking such good care of Paimon. If this were anywhere else, we'd be out investigating and adventuring by now. But instead, we're stuck here waiting for a doctor. You're right. No need to push ourselves too hard for no reason. A lot happened on our way into the city. Let's review what we've learned so far and try to figure out what to do next. Obviously, the million more question is, what is this Tsaritsa planning? Everything else leads back to that. Sure was. And so far, we've learned that in addition to the 7 Gnosis, her plan also requires a ton of energy. But we won't get to see her anytime soon. Alosha said that she went east to fight that big monster. It must be a pretty powerful one if it can blanket the whole of Snezhnaya in a snowstorm this awful. To be honest, what we're really lacking right now is information. The kind of information that only the higher-ups in the government would know. Now, Paimon can't think of a few people who might be able to help us. Right. And when we left Nagcry, Sandrone specifically left a message reminding us which side we're on. So, it's unlikely they'd tell us anything confidential about the Tsaritsa's grand plan. Yeah, fair point. Besides, that Glupov place is right nearby. We've got nothing to lose, so it'll be a waste not to go. There's gotta be someone there willing to talk to us, right? Maybe Arlecchino or Sandrone? Or possibly Tartaglia. But it's unlikely we could sweet-talk Arlecchino, let alone Sandrone. She basically told us to stay in her lane already. Yeah, the last time was all the way back in Fontaine, right? Too bad we missed him in Nagcry. Apparently, he came to help out.
Hello. Is there a traveler in Paimon in there?
That's Alosha! Come in!
Hello, I'm Dr. Luneva. Alosha mentioned that one of you is feeling a little under the weather. I see. So you're my patient today, yes?
Good question.
Not exactly. It's just, I'm used to treating but don't worry. I do have some experience treating fish.
It'll be fine. Paimon's basically the same as a human, right? We're no different when it comes down to it, are we? That's just because Paimon knows how to eat.
Now, please take a seat. Okay, vital signs are good. Test results. I can give you some medicine to tide you over. But if you find yourself with a persistent low-grade fever, or if your symptoms don't improve, just contact me again.
Sounds like there's no cause for alarm.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're very welcome. Just
Take care. You heard the doctor. Best you rest up here for a couple days. No.
All right then. Guess we've got no choice.
I have to get back to it. If you need anything else from the doctor or me, go to the Hunter Trade Station in Zolny. Hey, no big deal.
All right. Time to find Child and see what he can tell me.
Hold on. Please display your invitation letter or permit. Glupov does not accept meeting requests without a prior appointment. You'll have to apply per the advertised booking process and wait. Might I ask who you're hoping to visit? Another one who thinks the rules don't apply to them. I don't understand why people think they can just talk their way in here. But I have to go through the motions for protocol's sake. Wait a moment. Lord Child is a busy man. He's probably not in Glupov at present. Even if you two are old friends as you claim, please understand that the Fatui Harbingers are often busy with their official duties. Next time, stick to the rules. You'll make life easier for both of us. Greetings, Lady Marionette.
I'll take care of our guest here. It's her first time in Snezhnaya, so it's no surprise that she doesn't know the rules yet. I trust no choice words have been exchanged.
No, Lady Marionette. No incidents to report. Whew, that was a close call.
Is that right? Good to know. Under the weather? That's hard to imagine. I take it she's still adapting to the climate. Happens to a lot of people. It's even colder here than in Nod. All right then. Well, let me know if you run into any other problems. Why else? I was just about to sit down for some much-needed tea time when I heard that an old friend of Tartaglia's had shown up outside. No, and as obnoxious as it may be to show up uninvited at Glupov, I couldn't help but take pity on the poor soul who was Well, I felt our time working together in Nod. Unfortunately, I can't invite you inside either. The rules of Glupov wouldn't allow it, and on the plus side, Snezhnograd actually has some class. Unlike Nosha Town. Torchlight Books has a very nice selection of teas and cakes. Your treat, of course. Because I already wasted one perfectly good cup of tea today. I've ordered for the both of us. No objections, I assume. I'm sure. Okay, let's get down to business. Wanna take a guess? Of course you'd say that. That's right. I'm sure you've heard of the Snezhnaya by now. They'll be discussing yet another extension to Project. Yeah, he's more of the shoot first, ask. It all started with a very detailed letter that Capitano left for the jet. In that letter, he detailed the future arrangements for his subordinates. I guess he'd already prepared to leave us for good all the way back then. That was his reaction, too. He'd always assumed Capitano looked down on him. But he occasionally brought Tartaglia along to my tea parties back in the day. By the rest of us, I mean my tea party regulars. Arlecchino, Rosalie. Anyway, then the Liu's situation happened. No, basically, Tartaglia probably had the wrong idea about Capitano all along. Capitano believed that despite Tartaglia's immaturity, it's one of the few things that I'd agree those two have in common. He knew that after he was gone, several of the others would swoop in on his army like Volt, with the ones who stood to benefit the most being the rooster Pulcinella and a regrader Pantalone. Once they divided Capitano's troops between them, they'd be more powerful than ever. So, you can see why Capitano chose to hand that letter to Pierre. Exactly. Piero also needed to back a harbinger as soon as possible. Even though Tartaglia has had the support of Northland Bank for a long time, I'd say Capitano made a good judgment call. Anyone else caught in this situation would probably feel like they'd been hung out to dry. His best course of action will be to distance himself from any shady business. What's the point in having a tea party if you don't spill a little tea? Besides, none of this is confidential anyway. You'll see it firsthand if you ever sit in on a session of the Snezhnaya. Having a voice in the Vecha is the only way to steer policies in your favor. So, every person in that room represents a particular interest group. Pantalone, for instance, represents the financial sector. And personally, I have no interest in political jousting. But since I have a number of engineers and researchers under my command... Then there's Pulcinella, the linchpin of the Vecha. He represents politics itself. Everything involves him, so nothing can bypass him.
I'm starting to see why everyone is so frustrated with the way things are, but also powerless to change it. A complex web of interests connects all parties involved.
All right, I'm done carrying this conversation. You must have known that you can get the info you needed from me. I just don't understand, that's all. Anyway, do I really need a reason? Wait. Oh, I think I know what it is. Colin, I only meant you should be mindful of which side you're on. Fair enough. It's not your fault. Anyway, just ask for my help next time, okay?
Lady Marionette.
What now?
Sorry to disturb you during your break, ma'am, but I'm...
Isn't it always? I've told you before. Fixing the tracks and transporting ice blocks does not constitute an emergency.
The equipment in Svietlolaidovka is in urgent need of maintenance. With how the weather's been recently, we suspect that the cause is a buildup of snow. The supports on one of the machines broke and fell, awakening a dormant beast and leaving many of the ice miners trapped in a nearby ice cave. Luckily, Odette's team was nearby and launched a rescue operation.
I guess that's it then. Our tea party will have to end here. Do you actually want to come with, or are you just saying that? Nice of you to return the favor. And honestly, I'd rather have your help than anyone else's. Then let's go. You, take 2 people to Podvorye restaurant. If anything happens to Paimon, you'll be answering to me.
Yes, Lady Marionette.
they weren't exaggerating. This is really dangerous. From what I've been told, most of the trapped miners are over in that direction. Yeah, you do that while I check the rest of the equipment. Meet me back here as soon as you're done.
Everyone's gotten by like this for years.
I sympathize. Rules are rules.
I have to be getting close.
Don't go any further. It's too dangerous here. There's a highly aggressive monster on the prowl. Ah, I see. You're the backup from Snezhnaya. Well, I'm Odette.
Ah, so this is Odette.
There are 5 people trapped in the cave. Let's go. Every second counts. Careful. Something's moving. This must be the monster's shadow. Looks like a tough opponent. Crystalline Adagio.
Stay back!
warmth of the snowflakes. Pas de deux. I see them. They're right behind the monster. The monster seems very agitated. It could attack at any moment. Let's make the first move.
Bellowing thunder! Ha!
Take this!
Crystalline Adagio.
Thank you for saving us. We'd have.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You should be safe now.
Thank you.
I've searched the area. Pretty sure the monster made a tactical retreat. Yeah, but with us here, it won't be coming back anytime. It may be small, but don't be fooled. It's a ferocious beast. It's lucky we got here when we did. The trapped miners have been successfully evacuated. Time for us to leave.
Wait, this place. There's something unusual about it.
What is that?
I don't know. It's back?
Guess it has family. This way. Run! Thanks. Let's get out of here.
You can have my boohoo snowball maker. It makes a crying sound when you make a snowball with it. Fun, right? Me? Oh, I'll use this tee-hee snowball maker instead. Anyway, come on, let's have a snowball fight.
Everyone's accounted for. We managed to rescue them all. You really held your own today. Don't think I've seen you before. All right then. See you around. Hello, Lady...
I hear the rescue operation was a great success. I knew I could count on you. What brings you here, Odette?
No, a Fatui mission. I happened to be nearby and heard the crash.
She hasn't introduced herself then. If you ever hear people mention the two crowning jewels of the Korolievsky troupe, on top of that, Odette's also a rising Fatui star. She learned all her combat skills from Rosaline herself.
You flatter me, Lady Marionette.
If she's Rosaline's protege, that makes me...
How's progress on your end, Lady Marionette?
Equally successful. I finished, even if the heavy snowfall summoned by that monster lasts for another 3 months straight. All right, now that we're done here, it's time to get out of this blizzard. Sure, but Snezhnaya will send someone to investigate and draw up a relief plan. And I guess I'll have to write the incident report myself this time. First, Pantalone needs to approve the budget. Then Pulcinella has to sign off on the plan. That's the rough process anyway. Could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months. Yup, nothing we can do about it.
The snow has eased a little for now, but there's no telling when that will change with that monster still at large. Fuel for heating is in short supply, and relief is weeks away. It just feels like there should be a better way.
Hey, quit daydreaming. Let's get back to Snezhnaya. When did you get a new sword?
I found it in a cave. It handles pretty nicely.
You have a strange affinity for second-hand swords. Well, if it isn't Counselor Tartaglia.
Go easy on me, all right? Hey, comrade, it's been too long. I heard you came looking for me earlier. Good to see you too, Odette.
It went fine.
How about you? Any new developments?
Not really. Same as ever. The results of the mock vote were pretty dire. Pulcinella was fuming.
That's not good news. It takes a lot to rattle him.
Yeah, obviously if push comes to shove, there are ways to crack down on dissent. But...
Sorry, I have to ask something.
Huh? Of course.
It sounds to me like everyone's tearing their hair out trying to figure out how to deal with opposition to Project Snezhnaya. But what exactly is this project's purpose?
Interesting. I gotta hand it to you, comrade.
Excuse her? What does she mean? Refuse to stand up for ordinary people.
Oh my gosh. How does she dare speak to the Harbingers like that?
Are you interrogating us now?
It's okay, Sandrone. Let me explain. If I could, I'd take your side right now. In fact, my position's very similar to yours. Still, I have a responsibility to the Fatui armed forces. I'm sure you've seen how much those kinds of places are struggling right now. Oh, and for what it's worth, I'm from Repertoire myself. Things aren't going so swell there either. The Tsaritsa wants to create a better, safer future for the people of Snezhnaya. But considering the Tsaritsa's vision for the future, these are sacrifices worth making. Maybe Sandrone and I can't oppose Project Snezhnaya outright, and even though we can't put an end to it, there are plenty of other ways to make a difference. I respect Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, and trust her decisions. There's no way I would ever abandon them.
As contentious as things can get within the Vetcha, the issue is that there's no way of pleasing everyone under the present circumstances. But that is not the same thing as being blindly loyal to the Tsaritsa. No one's got their head in the sand here.
In fairness to Sandrone, she rushed to Svietlo-Laidovka's aid the moment she heard that people were in danger. And even Tartaglia, who used to only care about the thrill of the fight, is clearly doing his best to rise to the demands of his new role as counselor.
Hey, come on. There's only so much we can say, so don't press us too hard. Maybe you've heard already, but she's currently leading her army on a campaign to the east. Striking that monster down will be a significant step in dealing with the present energy crisis. As laser-focused as she is on realizing her lifelong ambitions, she's still putting time and energy into taking down this powerful monster. To me, that says a lot. If she thought Snezhnaya and its people didn't matter in the grand scheme of things... Thanks. I meant every word I said, though. I wasn't just trying to placate you.
I still think this adventurer raises a very important point. Our two Harbingers have made their positions very clear. But there are many others in the Vetcha who must feel trapped and forced to vote against their conscience. I think it's a very valuable quality to be willing to speak one's mind.
You can say that again. I highly doubt we'd feel the need to explain ourselves so much if we didn't know you so well.
Forgive me, adventurer, but might I be so bold as to ask about your background?
Oh, haven't you been properly introduced?
Easier said than done.
I've only learned her name so far, and no details of her experiences. Is something wrong?
Uh-oh. Is there no avoiding the subject of Rosaline?
No, it's just... all right. I guess this is the world-renowned traveler who helped resolve the storm terror threat in Mondstadt, cleaned up after the mess I made in Liyue, and then went to Inazuma, where there was a duel before the throne in which the traveler defeated Rosaline.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you two would be seeing much of each other, so I figured it wasn't worth bringing up.
It's fine. It was a long time ago. It's fine. Sorry. I just remembered that we have a rehearsal coming up. Please excuse me. I should get...
I've mentioned this to you before, remember? She was Rosaline's most valued subordinate. Not that Rosaline was really the type of person to make friends, but death has a way of resolving a lot of conflicts.
Don't let it weigh on you. Like she said, it was a long time ago. Odette has a very different personality from Rosaline. Give her some time. I'm sure she'll work through it. Oh, by the way, where's Paimon? It's not like her to hide away.
She hasn't been feeling well, so she's resting at Podvorier restaurant.
Oh, right. Sorry to hear that. I felt so bad for her seeing her lying in bed, coughing. She was so mature for her age, though. I'm sure Paimon's a good kid, too. You're a little short on manpower, right? Let me have a couple of my people take over for yours. I'll send my most capable and reliable. They'll make sure Paimon can recover in peace.
Well, that would be great.
Hey, don't mention it. I'm sure you have things to do. Hopefully this takes a load off your mind. So no more accusing me of not being on your side, all right?
Already? That was quick.
I'm afraid I can't help you there. Our director's recent movements are confidential. If you hadn't told me, I never would have known he'd gone south. I assumed he'd been in Glupov this whole time. Well, I guess I'd better go sort out Paimon's security situation. I have some other work to catch up on at Glupov anyway.
Me too. I have an incident report to write up. Let's leave it there for now.
I guess everyone's in a difficult position. But Tartaglia's right. I have things to do. Things I want to do. And to start with, I should go ask Alosha if he knows of any way to help Sviatlily. How strange. This sword seems to be vibrating of its own accord. It's a very faint vibration, but it's getting stronger as I get closer to the statue of the Seven. Does this sword have some connection to the statue? That place I got this sword from was definitely out of the ordinary. Maybe... special about this sword? I don't really understand what just happened, but I'm pretty sure this sword just got a little more powerful. I'll have to try the same thing again when I come across another statue of the Seven. In the meantime, I'd better go find Alosha.
Hello there. How can I help? Ah, sure thing.
It's a familiar story. I've had similar experiences. Although Snezhnaya doesn't deliberately delay or withhold relief, it's a fundamental contradiction. If emergency relief can't be delivered in time, what? Not necessarily. I think there's a good chance that Kresny Crystal from Stratomeros will start flowing into the market. When we resolve Stratomeros' energy issue, it's like we open the floodgates. A huge backlog of Crystal is now available to the townspeople. A lot of them will probably stockpile it and slowly work their way through. Exactly. At the current prices, selling Crystal is an easy way for an ordinary person to make a fortune. Hey boss, how much do I have left in my account?
1 second, let me check. So, you're planning on buying the Crystal out of your own pocket?
Yeah. I don't know if I have enough, so I'll chip in a little extra and buy as much as I can afford. No, it's fine. You're new to Snezhnaya, and you have your own living expenses to worry about.
Here's your Mora. See what you can find at the market. But I doubt there'll be much Crystal left.
Yeah, well, can't hurt to take a look. Let's see. Huh?
Oh, Alosha, and... Hello.
I didn't realize you two knew each other. Yeah, I take on some odd jobs in the city to supplement my hunting income. Sometimes I work as a cleaner or prop hand at the theater where Odette is one of the big stars. So when the weather's as bad as this, it's better for a hunter to adapt than to keep looking for game.
Yes, and we sometimes need extra help.
Wait, why is the atmosphere so awkward? I thought things went pretty smoothly in Svyetlolaidovka. So, what brings you here, Miss Odette?
No. After I got back to the theater, I couldn't stop thinking about the situation in Svyetlolaidovka. It bothered me so much, so I decided I'd come here and see if there's anything I can do. You too, I presume. I suppose that's why you're here. I didn't feel comfortable expressing my true opinions in front of the Harbingers. Without knowing the full picture, I can't make sense of it. And at some point, if things aren't making sense to me...
So many people feel the same way. They wish they could do something, but all kinds of reservations hold them back. Explains why groups like the Roadcott are springing up to fill the gap.
Yes. Well, that's one option. But there are risks to consider with organizations like that.
Right, because things can get out of hand, and it's hard to hold the right people accountable when they do.
Sandrone said Odette was on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady. If so, she'll be able to find out what Project Stuzha is really about. Still, it's probably a little soon to ask her about that. There may be more to the story.
What's on your mind? I think we can both agree that no matter which side you're on, it can't stop you from doing the right thing. Where there's a will, there's a way. I know what Rosaline did while she was abroad. You made the right decision, so no hard feelings. So, what's your plan?
Oh, we were gonna buy some Crystal. I heard there's some on the market right now.
Funny. I had the same idea. In that case, let me pay. The real issue here is that government relief is behind schedule.
True. It's a huge expense after all.
Let me see. I'll take... Right. Choose mission budget under the expense category, but be sure to specify emergency rescue operation. Let's book this train. Regulations say that if we need to transport Kresnik Crystal during Project Stuzha, extra carriages can be added 1 hour before departure. That should do it. The train will be escorted to its destination by Fatui guards.
This is my first time seeing you handle Fatui affairs, Miss Odette.
You flatter me. It's only because I've been doing both my whole life.
Anyway, I bet you've been non-stop today, am I right?
What's wrong? Who's Paimon?
Her travel buddy. Hasn't been feeling well.
Sounds like she's important to you. I can't believe...
I've got nothing going on right now, so I'll join you. I want to see how she's doing.
May I come too? I have some candy that someone gave me back in Svyetlolaidovka.
All right then, let's go. I still don't know what the deal is between these two, but at least the tension seems to have vanished.
Hello. Sorry, but there's a sick person recovering in this room. Can I help you?
What happened?
Oh. Please, excuse me. Ah, it's really you. Sorry for the inconvenience. At the same time, we can't interfere with Podvoye Restaurant's business. Besides myself, a few of my colleagues are stationed in and around the restaurant, in plain clothes, of course. Rest assured.
I didn't expect such a high standard of protection.
Well, Master Child handpicked us for this special assignment. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer.
Traveler! Alicia, you're back! Oh, hey! Who's our new friend?
Hi, I'm Odette. The Traveler and I crossed paths a few times.
Another friend from the Fatui, huh? Paimon's definitely on the mend. We should be back to our usual travels in a few days' time. It's just... Paimon's limbs are still feeling a little chilly.
I have just the thing.
Whoa! What's this? Is that... a flame inside an ice cube?
All keen observations. You're right. This is called Core Ignis. Whenever I've caught a cold in the past, I found I recover much more quickly if I place this by my bed.
Awesome! Wow! It's so nice and warm! Your name was Odette, right? How did you two meet again?
Looks like she's in pretty good spirits. That's a relief. Any progress with your investigation yet? No surprises there, I'm sure. They're not likely to let anything slip. The Rokad, huh? Let members of the Rokad keep their true identities hidden, but leave it with me. Meet me at the Korolyevsky troop tomorrow, and I'll tell you how it goes.
Would anyone like a drink? I'm gonna head to the bar.
Paimon will have... maybe some hot milk? Enough with the secret chat, you two! Let's catch up properly in a minute. It'll be kinda like tabletop troop. No reason why listening to a story can't be an adventure.
I just got a really bad toothache. Why? Enough! Help me!
Ah, you made it. I've got some tickets, and I managed to set something up with the Rocot. It'll have to wait until after the show, though. Pleasure. Here. This...
Please present yourself for a routine inspection in accordance with theater regulations. Okay, all done. Thank you for your cooperation. Please proceed through to the theater.
What's up? Everything okay? Snezhnaya's business and political leaders are always passing through here. Still, it's a little unusual to see the Fatui's Armory Palace Guard here. He's part of the Special Assignments Battalion. Supposedly a researcher, though he never seems to put much time in at the office. But that's not for us to worry about. Let's go. What do you think? Pretty impressive, huh? Oh, the one in Fontaine? I hear it's iconic. Never seen it for myself, though. Here we are, just in time. Sorry, coming through.
If you're gonna show up late, keep your mouth shut.
What's his problem? Whatever. No point arguing with people like that.
Look, there she is. That's who I'm introducing you to later. She's the lead singer of the troupe, Vodyanitsa. This leads directly to the green room. They're expecting us. Vodyanitsa will be waiting for us there. Hey there. Excuse me.
Can you believe it? I am so mad right now.
Oh, it's you two.
Huh? You know each other? Oh, wait.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. Why are you denying it?
Might I ask what brings you two here?
Oh, I just brought her here to see the show. And when it finished, she was full of praise for Vodyanitsa's performance. So I thought I'd try my luck, see if we could get the chance to chat for a bit.
You work here. You of all people ought to know that's against the rules.
Oh, what's the big deal? Come on, don't be shy.
Do as you please. I finished all my shows for the day. I'll leave you to chat.
I wasn't making that stuff up, you know. Odette's just too proud to admit it. She thinks very highly of you.
And so do I. You did the right thing in Svietloladovka.
We're good. Odette's out of earshot. I'll lock the door. Confidentiality, of course. The Rokot is very strict on that.
Whoa, Alosha! Not out loud! Not with an outsider here.
Relax, I've taken care of it. Look at this.
The president's reply sent this morning. Wait, so she's been approved to join?
You told me last night that you wanted to get intel from the Rokot. Unfortunately, Rokot intel is only available to members. But ever since you set foot in Snezhnaya, we've been working together. Everything about you is perfectly in alignment with what we're trying to achieve in the Rokot. I wrote a letter to the president explaining your situation, including just the right amount of detail. Of course, it's still your decision whether you want to join or not.
Well, assuming Odette was telling the truth and she didn't misjudge you, still, you gave me a real fright. I didn't know that's why you came looking for me. So, that stuff you said about admiring my performance. Now you're talking. That's what I like to hear.
Anyway, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work. Members typically don't meet in person or even know each other's identities. Because of this, members are basically free to decide their methods without constraints, so long as the outcome of any activity doesn't violate the organization's principles.
After all, we don't have any ostensible contact with each other.
Beyond the freedom to choose how you operate, it's also your choice whether to act at all. In short, joining the Rokot in and of itself won't place any restrictions on your activity in Snezhnaya. There's a code of conduct you can read if it interests you. But basically, as long as you don't plan on using your anonymity—
I tried reading it 5 or 6 times.
Great. Then I'll go grab an official application form. Be right back.
Well, Alosha has this pet dog, you see. His name's Tagarin, and this one time, Alosha brought him backstage. Tagarin took quite a liking to me, so I played with him for a little bit and fed him some treats. Then, the Rokot was out on a mission one day, and even though we were all in disguise, Tagarin recognized me right away.
Just a coincidence, really. We didn't report it to the higher-ups, though, to avoid dealing with the fallout. Like my job at the theater, for instance. By the way, what were you complaining about just before we came in? Did everything go okay with Chuganov?
Everything did not go okay. That's why I was so mad. I tried to make some small talk with him before I went on stage to fish for intel about the Iskra manufacturing plant. But he wouldn't take the bait. No matter what I said, he kept dodging the question. And then he started complaining. He said he didn't appreciate his second-rate seat in the stalls because he usually gets a private box. I mean, what did he expect? Everyone knows that if you want a box seat, you buy a ticket well in advance. I had to juggle things around just to get him a half-decent seat.
Yeah, meeting Chuganov in person has definitely been a disappointing experience. Oh, you probably don't know who we're talking about, do you?
To the citizenry, he's a family man and but our interactions with him tell a very different story. It's one— Take the ticket situation, for instance. I've actually gotten him a private box in the past. But not only was he not even grateful, not to mention that he's never paid for a single one of his tickets. And another thing, if he's such a big family man, why doesn't he bring his wife and daughter to see the show once in a while?
Calm down, Vodyanitsa. If you won't do it the easy way, we'll have to try the hard way. But first things first. Here's your application form.
Looks like I'll need to make a few little tweaks here and there. All right. Now that we're officially Rokot comrades, I can tell you. Chukhanov is the target of our current operation. Recently, we've done some recon work at the Iskra manufacturing plant. All we need now is some direct evidence to present to the Vecha, so we can demand that they shut the plant down.
That way, the Kresny Crystal can be allocated to where it's needed most.
I was hoping he might let slip during one of our chats, but I'm meeting another regular theater goer tonight, Mitya.
But Valeri's here too, and he's probably looking for Mitya.
Don't you worry. He must know how to dodge Valeri, or Mitya is a renowned energy expert. Although we can't get any direct evidence of the excessive energy consumption at the plant, the authorities should take someone like him seriously. So if he starts raising questions about energy use at the Iskra manufacturing plant, there will be a proper investigation. Also, we're not allowed on site, but he has clearance. Yeah, so that's the other thing we're trying to figure out. Though I think we're far less likely to make any progress on that front. Still, I hear that Mitya is a bit of a chatterbox.
What do you think? Sound like something worth your time?
Okay, in that case, you guys find a seat somewhere nearby. Pretend you're a couple of buddies there to eat. He's a huge fan, so I doubt he'll have his guard up around me. But you two need to be convincing.
Sure. Don't worry. We'll make a believable pair of buddies.
Perfect! You've sold me already.
Okay. What needs tidying?
Everything!
We come here often, so we shouldn't stand out. Now, it's up to Vodyanitsa. Let's see how the conversation goes.
Mitya! Over here! Over here!
Oh, sorry. I got a little held up on my way here. Now we have even less time than we planned. Go ahead and order some snacks and drinks. Whatever you like.
You're really pressed for time today, huh?
No need. Getting to meet the lead singer is a very precious opportunity for me. I've already had to decline your invitation several times because our schedules rarely align.
Well, it's very kind of you to make time just for me.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. But Snezhnaya is full of weird and wonderful things like that.
The reason I invited you out for tea and a chat today was to get some feedback from a true fan of the
Well, I genuinely have nothing bad to say. No matter how many times I hear you sing, it never gets old. It always... Maybe it's because the more times I listen, the more details I notice. Or maybe you simply improve with every performance, delivering it better each time.
Thank you! I'm delighted to hear that!
Oh, yeah. The piece you sang today, for example. Beneath the Frozen River? Hey, what's with you? I'm just praising a good performance. I always used to find that such a bleak and lonely song. But the more you listen, the more you realize that it's not as cold and nihilistic as it appears.
Wow, I'm impressed. I didn't expect you to pick up on that. Still, Beneath the Frozen River wasn't on today's program.
Oh, really? But it's a classic. You sing it every time.
Almost every time.
Oh, well then. Let me say a few words about that other all-time classic, Flying in the Wind from the Mountain Sparrow.
I didn't sing that one today either. My voice wasn't quite up to it, so I switched it out at the last minute.
Oh, but,
Sorry, Mr. Mitya, but you were at the theater today, yes?
Of course I was. Remember? I said hello to all the troupe members before the show started.
So what did Odette sing today?
Elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose, of course.
Correct. I see. You find my singing boring, don't you? That's why you don't remember a single song.
No, that's not it. I swear. All right. I'll be straight with you. I'm sorry. My mind was wandering as you took the stage today. I enjoy watching your shows because the exquisite performances stimulate the mind. So, whenever I get stuck at work, I come to the theater for a change of pace. Odette's dance during the elegy of the Snow-Winged Goose today was simply incredible. It got me wondering what she's been going through recently. That look of sheer defiance in the face of utter tragedy? It was so inspiring. I started scribbling in my notebook right away. Not that I made a ton of progress in the grand scheme of things, but I still think it was productive. By the time I snapped out of it, the entire show had finished.
So what you're saying is, you didn't listen to my singing at all?
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry. I don't know which is more disrespectful. The fact that I don't always come for the show itself, or the fact that I missed your performance.
Seems like things are getting a little awkward.
Mitya just stepped into a conversational minefield. If there's one thing Vodyanitsa doesn't like, it's people who show disrespect for her performance. This meeting was so hard to set up. Don't tell me it's already falling apart.
It's fine. I suppose this is affirming in its own way. Don't let it bother you. It certainly doesn't bother me.
She's showing a lot of restraint.
Well, I'll be sure to let Odette know how much you adored her performance.
Please don't say that. I always love your performances too.
I know, I can tell. That's why I value your opinion. I'm sure some people can't stand it when others praise their coworkers right to their face, but not me. No, sir.
Fair enough. I still feel kinda bad though.
But you know what I really can't stand? People who only show up to the theater to pretend that they're cultured. Makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh yeah, 100%. There are too many of those people around. By the time... what's wrong? You look furious.
I don't know if you've heard about the boss of the Eastborough manufacturing plant. He isn't even a theater investor, but He always demands the same privileges as actual investors. Box tickets only, premium drinks, even the right to request specific songs.
Well played, Vodyanitsa. Seems like she's harnessing her rage to steer the conversation back on track.
Now that you mention it, I've interacted with that guy before. I gotta say, everyone holds him up as an example of a benevolent businessman, but...
Yeah, he couldn't care less about what's happening on stage. He's just there to flaunt his social status. What's the big deal with that factory he runs anyway? I asked around a bit and heard some pretty shocking stories.
Oh, really?
Yep, the things people are saying are pretty damning. Low wages, insanely long working hours, equipment running around the clock. And as if that's not bad enough, he also strictly forbids his employees from giving any kind of interview. Project Stuja has now been extended so many times, we're at the point where crystal rations for the common folk are barely enough to survive on. If the rumors are true, he's in serious violation of the law.
Interesting. So you've heard about it too?
What? So it's really true?
Who knows? I've only heard the same rumors you have. But there's no smoke without fire. The Rooster's been coming down on us hard lately, demanding that we track and trace every single batch of Crystal.
The Rooster? I didn't realize he cared that much.
Yeah. Even though there are no restrictions on Crystal trading, the poor will wind up freezing to death if we let the rich buy as much as they want. Looks like we'll need to arrange an investigation into the Iskra manufacturing plant as soon as possible. I never knew you kept up with current affairs beyond the theater, Miss Vodyanitsa. Most Fae in your position have long been indifferent to the plight of humans.
Well, those of us who choose to live in human cities are naturally going to pay attention to any significant upheaval. I'm just surprised to learn that even someone with as much experience as him is getting so stressed out over Project Stuja.
This is it. We're finally going there.
I'm sure Mitya can sense on some level that she's fishing for information. But since their conversation is so relaxed, he might...
It's stressing me out too. If I'd only made better progress with my research, things wouldn't have dragged on this long.
Oh, so your work is related to Project Stuja?
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source. Not the power of the Light Realm, and not elemental energy. Right now, the only thing that meets the requirements is the power contained within stellar linchpins. But harnessing that power is costly. Each step of the process requires enormous amounts of Kresnik crystal. Progress has been painfully slow, and the team is getting burned out as time goes by.
Could it be that this new energy source has side effects?
No, it doesn't affect us, because the energy is used for... Okay, I got it. Stop choking me. I think we're all just exhausted. We've been working ourselves to the bone for so long, with so little progress to show for it.
Seems like I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have gotten so mad at you for not paying attention during the show.
Don't worry about it. I count myself lucky, to be honest. I don't envy the people who work closely with the Tsaritsa herself.
So they're trying to develop a completely new kind of energy. Yeah, censored by a scarf. Who would have thought?
Oh, dear. It looks like my time is up. I'm afraid I have to leave. I'm so sorry. We ended up barely talking about the theater.
That's okay. It was a pleasure chatting with you, really.
Let's make up for it next time. Yeah, hopefully once the work pressure eases up a little, I'll be able to focus more on the performance, and then we'll have more to discuss. We touched on some confidential issues today. I'd be grateful if you could keep it between us.
That could have gone worse.
Nice job. Why was Mitya in such a hurry to leave, though?
Sorry, routine inspection. Okay, let's go.
So he wasn't rushing to get back to work. He must have calculated that Valeri would find him here in exactly 25 minutes.
One of the main duties of the Special Assignments Battalion is to ensure that important figures stick to their schedules.
All right, time for us to get going too. Excuse me, check please.
We'll settle our check too, then.
Oh, hello there. Mr. Mitya paid the check before leaving. He also asked me to pass on a message. He said it was an honor to share his tea break with Miss Vodyanitsa and her two friends.
Wait.
So he knew we were here all along? This raises a lot of questions. Maybe his work isn't confidential after all. Maybe the key here is the purpose of this new energy. Vodyanitsa and Alosha have both left. Time to head back and call it a day.
You're back! You're pretty early today. Paimon was just gonna mention that. After she woke up today, Paimon felt like her temperature was completely back to normal. Still, there's some good news. Paimon thinks she might have figured out the source of the problem. It's like there's some kind of mysterious power affecting Paimon. She only started feeling this way since we arrived in Snezhnaya.
That's right. The Armory Palace needs a brand new energy source.
Could that have something to do with this?
What is it? You're making that face again. So, they're trying to develop a new energy source here? Well, Mitya denied that the energy they're researching has any side effects. Although, he did say that people working on the project have been having issues with their concentration and short-term memory. And even so, those are completely different symptoms from Paimon's. It's pretty faint. Sure, Paimon's with you there. But how, though? The robot only has a limited amount of intel. Oh, great point! They argue about Project Stusha every day. Good idea! Oh yeah, while you were out, Paimon tried all the yummiest-looking desserts in the Potvoria restaurant. This one seemed right up your alley. So, Paimon saved some for you.
Alosha replied. He says that we won't be able to speak at the Vecha, but he can arrange for us to attend as visitors. Time to get ready. Then head to the Snezhnaya Vecha.
Miss Vodyanitsa, prima donna of the Korolievsky troupe. What is the...
Sorry, I'm not taking interviews today. Oh good, you're here. The session's about to begin.
Please wait, Miss Vodyanitsa. Could you introduce me to your new friend?
In summary, the energy management commitments made for the outgoing period have been delivered upon. Furthermore, both the production and consumption of Kresnik Crystal show clear signs of stabilizing. The relevant agencies have assessed the present circumstances and determined that the status quo can be sustained until the next period. It should also be noted that while the recent blizzards have led to a significant increase in people, Her Majesty the Tsaritsa is giving her full attention to this matter. We should have every confidence that it will be dealt with swiftly and conclusively. A financial report on disaster relief is also present in this report, courtesy of Pantalone.
They cover the same old ground every single time. The rooster never seems to mind, but everyone else is getting tired of it. There's a general lack of trust. People aren't seeing any tangible benefits that affect them directly.
Yeah, if it weren't for these hard copy documents, I could have at least made something up. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just out here trying to hit my interview quotas. Bring out the kvass. Ever read it?
If I remember correctly, you guys don't even have a sales permit. You have to sell from stalls on the street.
Okay then, best-selling street stall newspaper in town.
Order! We will now open the floor to the representatives. If there are no further substantive issues to discuss.
Snezhnaya has a long tradition of treating members of the Fatui armed forces and their dependents favorably. But recent surveys shows that Fatui families in remote areas have access to 15% less crystal than the average civilian family in Snezhnograd. It's been said many times before, but it bears repeating now. There needs to be a clear and consistent rationale behind how crystal is allocated, or we—
Perhaps you wouldn't need to keep repeating yourself if you would hear me out for once. I say again, true consistency exists only in principle. You appear to treat resource allocation as a simple function of production and population. So what about when the equipment used in production breaks down? Have you factored that into your equation? And do you even know how long it's been since Snezhnaya last conducted a census?
If I knew the answers to questions like that, I'm sure I'd be a very wealthy man. And I doubt I'd be going by child. I'd like to bring the focus back to the specific issue I raised. Or do you wish to deny that favorable treatment for Fatui dependents is our long-standing policy?
It's easy to be a critic when there's no accountability. That seems to be a running theme in the anti-Project Stuzha cohort. Defeat the ringleader and all other problems will magically resolve themselves. That's what they seem to think. But in case you aren't aware, not one jot in my report would change whether Project Stuzha continues or not.
So you have no intention whatsoever of finding a solution to this problem?
On the contrary, I'm the only one here who ever brings solutions.
Child opened by speaking up for the armed forces. Regrator struck back with style and a war of words ensued. Our reporter was live on the scene to get the audience's reaction as it all unfolded. Who do you The people have spoken! Child received raucous applause from the crowd as he pushed Regrator onto his back foot with a relentless barrage of questions.
Now you see why they don't have a sales permit.
However this reporter wants to spin things, I haven't forgotten that Tartaglia was representing the Northland Bank when we first met in Liyue. So, surely their relationship can't always have been this strained.
You two are getting off topic. Let's focus on what the data is saying.
Mr. Pantalone, may I speak on your behalf?
Oh, please do. I'm more than happy to save my breath.
Crystal distribution policy undergoes modifications with each new period. The ultimate goal being to find the most reasonable method of allocation. But I fear many may have been misled on this topic by extremist activists. To clarify, Project Stuzha is not the root cause of the problem. It is merely a framework for resource distribution. The most recent reports all point to Snezhnaya's resilience and adaptability during this period of fine-tuning. To make drastic adjustments without first considering the risks would likely do more harm than good. it would be a waste of the hard-won experience we've gained to date.
Renowned scholar of finance, Arapov spoke up to clarify the fiscal logic. Clear with the notorious Lelek still active to this day. Should the Rokot be held responsible?
She's just rephrasing what Mr. Pantalone said. The Rokot are the critics he accuses of taking no responsibility for their actions. As for Lelek, you won't have heard of him yet. He's currently the most famous member of the Rokot. Ending Project Stuja has become an obsession for him. Unlike the more decent ones among us, he believes that votes in the Vetcha are all that matter. So whether it's threats, coercion, or bribery, he'll use whatever means necessary to get people to change their vote.
And since we're already on the subject, what do you— Yes, don't we all? Lelek's supporters grow in number by the day.
At least someone here wants to take this discussion seriously. I've been considering that issue myself. What you really need is more precise regional data, right? I think it would be easiest to let the Fatui handle it. Since whatever you need, you can ask the Fatui to look into it for you. In terms of supervision, I think the Druzhna would be a good fit.
I will be happy to take a note of your suggestions, and the commander has always taken a keen interest in Project Stuja. However, given the Druzhna's demanding workload, I'm afraid it may prove difficult for them to provide any practical support.
Let us refrain from jumping to conclusions until a concrete and actionable plan is in place.
My apologies, Lord Rooster.
There are numerous issues to address here, including manpower, time sensitivity, and reporting lines. Nevertheless, I support drafting a proposal. Follow the usual procedure, and it can be raised as a new motion for all parties to evaluate at—
In that case, I'd like to share one thought before the proposal is drafted. The issue of time sensitivity was raised just now, which I presume relates to the official reports. In fact, the Energy Commission already collects regular statistics on each urban center and its surrounding area.
That's a good idea. I read every issue of Svietlolaidovka's report, and although my focus is mostly on the section about equipment operation—
Be that as it may, does no one see an issue with using local data to determine crystal quotas?
Not if they are used purely for reference. So long as we have the report from the Northland Bank's headquarters to corroborate it.
Very well then. It appears that this arrangement is acceptable to all parties.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
The members reached a provisional consensus on the issue of improving treatment for Fatui soldiers. Today, the prima donna of the Korailievsky troupe attended a session of the Snezhnograd Vetcha in the—
Write anything like that again, and I'm revoking your permission to interview the troupe. Got it?
Now then, if there are no further contributions from those present, we shall proceed to the final vote.
Hey, check it out! What made him vote against?
The votes have been tallied. Those in favor of continuing Project Stuja total 61%, securing a clear majority.
That was too close. The margin has shrunk yet again.
I'll bet Lelek is behind this. I wonder how Pulcinella will respond this time.
Chuganov. I see. Lelek strikes again.
Yes, go, Lelek. Once Project Stuja is defeated, our unwavering support at Bring Out the Kvass will finally pay off when we—
In accordance with the result of this vote, Project Stuja will remain in effect until the next Vetcha period. Finally, may I remind us all, we debate only for the greater glory and solidarity of our nation. May the aurora shine ever on, and the tundra always stand firm. The session is concluded.
I have to say, I really wasn't expecting Chukhanov to vote against Project Stusha. Well, in principle, Snezhnaya's business and political elites ought to be the ones least likely to oppose it. As we heard, Project Stusha is basically just a resource distribution framework that requires everyone to cut back during the winter. But even if the policy got cancelled, the Tsaritsa's energy needs wouldn't suddenly go down. I got a letter from Mr. Mitya just before today's session. He said he's confirmed that there are issues around overtime and excessive energy consumption at the Iskra manufacturing plant. In a situation like this, once the Rooster receives the report, he'll order the factory to halt production and submit to an investigation before, but that's a week-long process, and thus didn't make it onto the Vecha agenda this time. Exactly. And as you know, he's a very selfish person. I was originally gonna try and flip him after he received notice of the official sanctions. My plan was to convince him that the whole thing was completely unfair. Rather than just sit back and take the hit while his factory stopped production, he'd be better off voting to end Project Stusha. At least that way, no one else would be able to make any money either. But now, he's already voted against it. Which means, someone must have used more forceful means to change his vote. Yeah, no one knows why Lelek is so obsessed with ending Project Stusha.
Lelek must have strong motivations, given how he'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. Maybe my next step should be to focus on him.
Oh, right. What are your plans for the rest of the day? Shall we head out?
Hey, comrade. I noticed you were here during the debate.
I didn't take you for a political enthusiast.
Greetings, Harbingers. I just happen to have some free time to—
Ah, Odette must have introduced you. Looks like you two are getting along pretty well.
I'll leave you to catch up. I should head back to the troop.
Sure. Break a leg, and all. Thought it might be fun to check out the Vecha, did you? Things are never that simple with you, Traveler.
Oh, yeah. To some, he's a captivating enigma. To others, he's the bane of their existence. No one ever thought that some anonymous nobody from the Rokot could cause such a stir. Huh? You want to look into Lelek? Then I'm sure his days of anonymity are numbered.
Fine by me, I guess. In return, it seems fair to let her in on what we've learned so far.
My thoughts exactly. Sharing is caring, after all. Head back to Glupov and grab the files on Lelek. It's easier to just pull the records than go through the rigmarole of getting the Traveler a visitor's permit.
As you command, child.
In that case, since we're going to be waiting anyway, I'll have someone brew a pot of black tea.
One common thread among the many incidents Lelek has been involved in is that the victims are all too scared to share any real information about him. His modus operandi is to silently infiltrate the scene and leave a threatening letter behind. So all these files have to offer are short statements by the people affected.
If nothing else, it shows we're dealing with a trained professional who's versed in counter-surveillance.
Yes, and to that point, he often strikes in highly secure locations. The victims are high-ranking and influential people who take their personal security very seriously. Somehow, Lelek slips right into their rooms without making a sound. There's never any eyewitnesses, nor the slightest trace of a break-in. If he can get in and out undetected, it means he can strike without warning. Not that that's ever happened so far. It's hard to believe that a human being could pull this off flawlessly every time. So they switched the focus of the investigation to Faye. Careful, don't underestimate me. Although truth be told, I'd probably find it hard not to blow my cover.
We haven't ruled out the possibility of Lelek being human.
No, not as strong as me. Oh, you hit me right where it hurts. I'll admit, he's strong and meticulous. But can we at least limit this to candidates who have something to do with Snezhnaya?
She's just trying to find a reference point.
But that's the most important thing. In my opinion, anyway.
Odette? Yeah, that seems about right.
Except she's Fatui, so the likelihood of her working against us is pretty low.
No, wait a moment. Maybe we should interrogate that assumption.
What do you mean?
Her Fatui identity doesn't necessarily exonerate her.
Plus, she wouldn't need to be such a pro at covering her tracks. Oh, yikes. I was just thinking out loud. Why is this starting to sound like such a convincing theory? Still, what reason could Odette possibly have for trying to call off Project Snezhnaya?
Arlecchino would be the best person to ask. Rosaline used to open up to her in private about her struggles with Odette. As I'm sure you can imagine, Arlecchino is quite a lot better with children than Rosaline was. She gave her some tips on how to handle the situation, and Rosaline managed to reach a settlement with Odette before leaving. Beyond that, I don't know the details about that side of things. The reason being, her father passed away during the early stages of the project. That was back before it had been named Project Snezhnaya, when things were still being worked out. But in essence, it's remained the same ever since.
Huh. The more you know. Rosaline was always so self-centered. I never understood why she started paying so much attention to Odette. Is that such a surprise? If you cast your mind back, you may remember that Rosaline and I weren't exactly close.
Odette's past is no secret. Her father was a fatus and her mother was a very famous ballerina. On the surface, it looks like she followed right in her parents' footsteps. But the truth is quite a different story. After her father passed away on a mission, her mother was overcome with grief. She broke her leg during a performance and could never dance again. Odette was only interested in ballet at the time, but this tragedy left the family with both breadwinners gone. Per Capitano's policy, family members of Fatui who died in the line of duty had to be appropriately accommodated, and so regardless of how Rosaline may have felt about it, it fell to her to resolve the issue of Odette's family's livelihood. In the end...
Right, because the alternative would have been a one-off compensation payment, I guess? And that... Still, she must have had mixed feelings about it, right? If she doesn't even like the Fatui...
It's just a theory. A possibility. But as a motive for Odette to become Lelik, it holds up. That said, I have no idea where Odette's head is at right now. Plenty of people were on bad terms with Rosaline. Yes, but there's not much point in discussing that now.
Yeah, back to Lelik. Since our investigations so far have turned up next to nothing, funnily enough, Tonya and I had actually made plans to go to the theater tomorrow to watch Odette's rehearsal. Which means you can go in my place. No point wasting the ticket. Plus, you'll get to meet Tonya.
Spirit Seeker. Quite the classic ballet. It was passed down through Odette's mother's family for generations. But Odette's been practicing it diligently, and it's finally ready for a return to the stage.
Tonya's excited for it too. She's desperate to see it no matter what. Personally, it's not really my kind of thing, but since she's my little sister, I had to figure something out.
I've actually seen it several times before. The story's pretty straightforward. It's a tale of love and regret. So not exactly reinventing the wheel, at least, but when that classic melody kicks in and the lead character
with everything she's managed to do so far, hearing you talk about your day makes Paimon itch for an adventure.
Yeah, I wish you could be there too.
Guess it's just one of those things. Never mind. Paimon will behave herself and keep resting.
If Odette is Lelek, she may well have inside information on Project Snezhnaya. Her father was involved with the project's early implementation and tragically died in the process. It's hard.
Oh.
Oh, and is that Mitya? Oh no. It looks like the show's starting, and I still haven't found Tonya.
Members present today.
Quite satisfied. Leave now.
Already?
Are you sick?
Maybe we shouldn't be in such a rush to get back after all.
Let's wait and see.
Why do you need to... The time you drag me back to work when I sneak out, I gotta say,
Today's just a dress rehearsal, so...
Whatever the reason for his delay.
Into thin air. Either that, or my eyes were playing tricks on me.
A man-eating snowstorm? Come on. Traveler. Actually, I take that back. I don't think I've seen snow this bad even in the wild. This is something else. It's not normal.
If even Alosha thinks snow like this isn't normal, could it have anything to do with that monster people have been talking about?
We can't stay cooped up here forever. Someone needs to go out and take a look. No need. I have plenty of experience with snowstorms. Besides, I work here while you hassle. We can only hope that our friend who went to fetch the blankets just ditched us and went home.
Is it really that bad? But
if the snow still doesn't let up as we get into the evening, you can spend a night here, everyone. At least, I assume that's all right?
Once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I think I've changed my mind.
Sir, if you so much as look at it...
What about you? What did you think of today's performance? Oh my, that's very flattering of you. Thank you.
this is highly irregular. I am here to ensure Mr. Mitya's personal safety.
A private life? All right, I won't say anything.
I don't think it's ever been this...
And then there's the aristocrats. Easiest of all to deal with.
I don't. Do tell.
Because nothing horrifies them more than the thought of a cheap, coarse rope leaving creases on their precious $1,000,000 coat. Honor. Hey there. Let me introduce myself. The name's Shram.
And I am Chuganov, an entrepreneur.
Are you really that famous, Mr. Chuganov? How come I've never heard your name before?
Excuse me? Is that a joke? Or...
Oh, I'll have to ask my rope later. He's probably tied up more entrepreneurs than I've ever heard of.
How are you feeling, Tonya?
I'm fine. Sorry to worry you.
Child must take great care of his sister. He's never mentioned Tonya's illness, though.
You know, I actually find this whole thing kind of exciting. Stuck in a strange place thanks to a snowstorm. Exactly. I'm fine,
Look after yourself. Otherwise, your brother will come after me.
My husband has major trust issues. To him, I doubt even this snowstorm is a good enough excuse for me to stay out all night.
That's the price of marrying into wealth. You'll get used to it. I'm not about to stop you if you want to leave. Hello? Can I help you?
How's it looking, Alosha?
No change from this afternoon. Heavy snow with no sign of slowing down.
May I have your attention, please? The storm is unlikely to stop tonight, and it'll be even more dangerous outside at night than it was. We at the theater owe everyone here a duty of care. Therefore, we strongly suggest that you stay on site overnight and avoid going outside unless absolutely necessary. In a few short moments, we'll give you a tour of the theater's various quarters.
I'll pass on sleeping on the stage. What if the snow is stopped by tomorrow morning? The early birds in the audience might think we're part of some experimental new show.
A drama about sleeping? Who doesn't wish to sleep on the stage? Please follow me. I'll show you.
But if you ask me, they're just like...
Okay, but it's not my mind that's the problem. My body's about to give up on me. It's already starting to falter.
I can't do this anymore. I've had enough of being forever on the run.
All this will pass eventually, I promise.
You accuse the Black Mist cultists of being liars. But you're lying too.
The cult of the Black Mist has poisoned your mind, Sobolova. Are you thinking of giving up as well?
I am. I think I'll take my chances with the Black Mist.
As much as I detest the Black Mist cultists, I'm just...
Would be swallowed by the Black Mist. Yes, it looks like it's satisfied. For now. This happens from time to time, but it won't be long before the Black Mist starts chasing survivors once again. Well, we should make the most of the precious moments of rest that those two bought for us. Huh? Are you really that sleepy, Traveler?
Don't look, Miss Tonya. Stay... okay.
What happened to them?
These two people have passed away. And
This is so sudden.
Could they have had pre-existing medical conditions?
It's hard to believe that they died of natural age.
When I saw Mr. Chukhanov heading this way, I followed him. I can also confirm that I didn't see a single person approach that room before him. The snowstorm was raging all night, and it's still going now. There's no way someone could have come in from outside, correct?
You mean an intruder? No, not possible. I slept by the door last night as a precaution. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed if anyone had tried to open it.
Everyone, split into pairs and search the theater for anyone in hiding or any signs of suspicious activity. I'll follow up with a full search of my own shortly.
Nothing on your end either?
Backstage is clear. No signs of suspicious activity.
We checked the basement. Also clear.
Are we certain that the theater doesn't have a back door?
No, there's nothing like that. I also checked the windows, all of them are locked from the inside.
It sounds like we can safely rule out the intruder theory. If anyone came in during the night in this weather, there'd be no way for them to avoid leaving footprints or water stains.
That conclusion just yet.
Could he be right? It's hard to imagine something like that happening in real life. Set in a theater during a snowstorm, a murder takes place and the killer is among us. It's such a classic trope that it seems unbelievable.
Looking at who the killer targeted and the clean entry and exit, it all adds up. I know what this is. It's obvious now that I think about it.
What is? What have you figured out?
Both victims were wealthy, well-known local merchants. And the door was deliberately left open so I would discover the bodies and witness the crime scene first thing in the... Such ruthless methods. This was your doing, wasn't it? Lelik.
Lelik?
You mean Lelik is among us? And he's the killer?
Lelik. I know this code name. Member of the Rokot, anti-Project Snezhnaya. Always works alone. I've read the case files at the Armory Palace. Walk me through your reasoning, Mr. Chuganov. What do you know about Lelik?
Abe left a threatening letter, and I did all that you asked. But Project Snezhnaya cannot be so easily shaken. Not with the rooster in charge.
So he really was threatened by Lelik. That makes sense.
And now you're resorting to murder to threaten me. Isn't that right? I knew it. The Rokot despises the rich. The lives of the wealthy are but refuse in your eyes. Show yourself! Which one of you is Lelik,
Was this really Lelik's doing? Would Odette really do something like this? If Odette really is Lelik, this seems out of character. But then again, how well do I really know her? I'm probably the only one here with a compelling theory about Lelik's true identity. But if I reveal it now, I'll be putting Odette in the line of fire. What should I do?
I don't think it's likely that Lelik killed anyone. At least from the stories I've heard, he's never killed anyone before. Besides, even if Lelik did want to threaten you, why resort to such an extreme and roundabout method?
Vodyanitsa doesn't know that Lelik might be Odette, but her assessment is pretty much identical to mine.
Miss Vodyanitsa, why do you suddenly feel the need to speak in Lelik's defense?
Defense? Oh, no, it's...
Well, if you think I'm so wrong, what's your theory then, Why don't you tell us who the killer is?
The case is still evolving, Mr. Chuganov. Please do not prevent others from expressing their opinions so early on in the discussion.
Even so, there's no denying that the recent threat received by Mr. Chuganov may well be an important clue.
So there's still a good chance that Lelik is right here among us. I can't do this anymore. I don't care if it's still snowing outside. I have to get out of here.
Whoa, take a beat. We all know it's far too dangerous out there. Even the soldiers couldn't get to us. And whoever this Lelik is, they're surely not going to murder anyone in broad daylight. Be sensible, my man.
As much as I regret having to say this, I'd like everyone to cooperate. Because as things stand, every one of us is now a suspect. Unless anyone has further information to share, let's adjourn for now. Feel free to keep searching for clues, but make sure you don't go off alone.
You're right. That was my bad. It was a knee-jerk reaction. I didn't think it through. Luckily, no one suspected my identity. Oh, phew. It's just you.
Since Vodyanitsa and I were on the same page earlier, I think I should share my thoughts with the Rokot members first.
Whoa. Are you serious? I don't know if this counts as gossip, but it's definitely on track to be the juiciest this whole year. Odette? Really? Odette?
Actually, it's exactly what you'd expect.
And now that you mention it, the more I think about it, the more sense it seems to make. What are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4... Odette's identities. She's my coworker, specifically a ballerina, and also a Fatus, a member of the Rokot. Now, Lelek. It must be so exhausting. I just want to give her a hug. I guess since I've always known her as a member of the Fatui, it never even crossed my mind that she could be involved with the Rokot, let alone be Lelek. I don't understand. If she's with the Fatui, what reason could she have for being so opposed to Project Snezhnaya?
Probably best if you ask her that in person.
Well, since you waited until now to bring this up instead of announcing it to everyone earlier, yeah. Lelek may not follow orders from the Rokot leadership, but as far as I'm concerned, she's never crossed the line. If anything, her actions benefit the poor. We need to confront her face to face.
Do you think she'd really admit to being Lelek?
I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. For now, we'll work on the assumption that she didn't kill anyone. And now's her chance. Odette's alone. Let's go. Hey, Odette.
What is it, you guys?
Shh. Keep your voice down. We need to talk. So, you're Lelek, aren't you? Alright, fine. You don't have to say anything or explain yourself. Just hear me out first. None of us believes you kill innocent people. Whoever murdered those 2 people last night, it wasn't you. The Traveler was the first to figure out your identity, but she kept quiet during the discussion just now. Still, it's clear where the group consensus is heading. Everyone believes Lelek is the culprit. If your identity is exposed, you'll be in a really bad spot. We're your colleagues, and we know what kind of person you are. So, can you clue us in? Tell us everything. The more we know, the more easily we'll be able to cover for you.
Alright. Yes, I'm Lelek. And no, I'm not the murderer. And thanks, but I don't need you to cover for me. Actually, I'm planning to reveal my identity.
Huh? You're gonna reveal that you're Lelek? Here?
That's right. I'll admit I was surprised at first when Chuganov guessed that I was here. It was just a lucky guess, but it caught me off guard. But after taking some time to assess the situation and confirm where everyone stands, I don't believe I have anything to worry about.
Are you sure you don't need a second opinion? Given the circumstances...
Mr. Valeri! What?!
So... Odette is Lelek?
I don't know what game you're playing, but you've got a lot of nerve.
It's just one identity. So what if it's exposed? I can disappear and adopt a new identity anytime I please. I made my peace with this when I chose to become Lelek. But more importantly, I promise I am not the murderer, which means that someone else is. So, If anyone still insists that I did this, you'd best produce the evidence now. Otherwise, I suggest that you bite your tongue. Because if you really believe I killed 2 people without making a sound or leaving a trace, pointing fingers at me would surely only make you my next target.
Is this really the truth, Miss Odette?
That's confidence, all right. I believe you.
A real no-nonsense attitude. I can see why Marionette said that she's on track to inherit the title of the Fair Lady.
Are you seriously buying this? Hey, officer! She just admitted to being Lelik. Aren't you going to do something about this?
I do have one question, Miss Odette. Why have you chosen this moment to come forward and reveal your identity?
If I didn't say anything, everyone would be focusing all their efforts on finding Lelik, and that is exactly what the real culprit wants. I don't want to be the scapegoat who lets the murderer get away with this crime.
Despite all the accusations, she made the smart choice. A remarkable display of rational thinking under pressure. Clearly, Odette's talent extends far beyond the art of dance.
She thought so far ahead. Ugh, why do I always feel like I'm one step behind her in everything?
You've convinced me. Dealing with the murder case remains the top priority right now. Let's put the name Lelik and all related incidents aside. Nevertheless, the group still considers you the prime suspect. I assume you have no quarrel with that, Miss Odette?
Good work, Lelik guard team. And Lelik too. Here, have some hot water.
Turns out Valeri knew about my exploits, so now I've been told I have to guard Lelik with him.
Shouldn't you be facing my way if you're guarding me?
If the true culprit is indeed still at large, as you have claimed, we must keep our guard up against them also.
Don't worry, Tonya. We'll get through this. Once the snow stops, the officials will step in. The investigation will get easier, and then we'll be safe.
But once the snow stops, won't everyone just leave?
You're gonna miss us, huh? What?
Really, Miss Vodyanitsa? That's awesome!
Aw, you're so cute, Tonya. All right, let's swear to it. I promise to give you the pass, and you promise to never change your mind about being my fan.
Promise.
Don't indulge her, Tonya. You don't have to swear an oath over things like that.
You really do get carried away sometimes, don't you, Miss Vodyanitsa?
Hey! Mind your own business!
Don't be nervous, Miss Wateramp. Everyone's here.
Excuse me? Do I look nervous? Don't be ridiculous.
No. You sound nervous, lass.
Oh. Wait, but how... Okay, plenty of people know that I'm a water imp, but still... How come you understand our primary mode of expression?
Primary mode of expression? I've not come across that concept before.
Well, it's just... We water imps tend to communicate our emotions to each other by singing. The emotions we convey through song take precedence over our facial expressions. So, we think of it as our primary mode of expression.
I'm impressed, Shram. I didn't take you for a man of culture, but you're clearly rather learned.
It's not about being cultured or not. The thing is, this mode of expression can usually only be understood by other water imps. And yet, you're clearly human, Mr. Shram.
It's really not the big deal you're making it out to be. I think I just have a knack for it. Plus, I have a... very close friend who's a water imp. A delightful lady.
Heavens! Why would I do a thing like that?
It's getting late. We should discuss our sleeping arrangements for tonight.
I suggest that we don't sleep in separate quarters tonight.
As long as someone keeps an eye on Lelik, I'm quite sure we won't have any trouble.
Are you saying that you wish to bet your life on Miss Odette being the killer?
Nonsense. Of course not.
Then I propose the following arrangement for tonight. The Traveler, Odette, and I will form the Night Watch.
An excellent idea. This allows us to handle the Night Watch while also keeping an eye on Lelik. Meanwhile, the rule of taking shifts in pairs resolves the other issue. I expect that plan took you quite some time to come up with, didn't it?
Actually, our field combat manual outlines a similar approach. Although the scenario there involves guarding prisoners overnight during field operation. That being said, I must clarify that I harbor no disrespect towards you personally, Miss Odette. In fact, Lelik's numerous covert operations make fine textbook examples for military agents.
I care less about respect and more about the fact that you just robbed me of 2/3 of my sleep tonight. I'm calling dibs on being the first to rest. Good night.
It's almost time. We should wake Odette. Oh, not going to argue with that. I'll take a quick nap. If you start to feel sleepy, wake me up anytime.
It's finally time for Odette and I to share the Night Watch. I came here to get information from her in the first place. Maybe I should think about what questions I want to ask before...
How long are you gonna keep staring at me? Couldn't sleep. My mind's been running haywire. Plus, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about. Let's take this chance to clear the air, shall we? I just had a simple question for you, really. It's... Rosaline. In her final moments, did she have any... last words or anything? I see. Well, that was all. No, for the sake of my mother and me, I trained under Rosaline. It was extremely grueling, and it didn't exactly come naturally to me. I was a newcomer who'd managed to make a good first impression on a harbinger. Every day was a struggle against the cold, pain. After enduring all that, I've become almost immune to the sensation of pain. Surely, any child who had to experience that would grow to hate her lot in life. So, I put an equal amount of effort into my ballet. Because in my young mind, that was the only way to defy my fate. It was my way of telling her, aimed my poor performance and training on my passion for ballet. One time, when I was going, she was. But even now, whenever I take out this core Ignis, I can't help but think of that night. Of the look on her face. Sort of. Although gift might be too kind a term. That she knew the location of every piece of core Ignis. If any recipient started acting suspiciously. So, when news of Rosaline's death reached Snezhnaya, many people immediately crushed their core Ignis. But I kept mine. With my sensitivity to pain being as dull as it is, the warmth from this core Ignis is one of the few things I can still feel clearly. I still wonder, did she really come to stop me that night? I guess she didn't leave anything behind. Not that I expected her to. It's fine. It's just a bit of a shame that we couldn't settle our differences before. She did. No, she didn't. Wait. Okay. I will. Thanks for letting me know.
There's something I'm trying to figure out. I'm beginning to suspect that Paimon's mystery illness is being caused by the energy research behind Project Stuzha. Paimon's very important to me, so I have to get to the bottom of this. I figured that since you're Lelek, you might know something about all this.
The ultimate goal of this energy experiment is to create a weapon for the final battle. The weapon's construction was completed in Nodcry. Now, all that remains is to arm it with a sufficient... Yes. The weapon's development and all the related experiments are overseen by Lord Piero, the I'm not sure why this experiment would be making Paimon feel unwell, though. Once we get out of here, I'll help you apply for an entry permit. And I'm hardly the organization's proudest member, as you know. You answered my question about Rosaline.
Huh? What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?
You two seem to be hitting it off.
I thought you were sleeping.
Of course I was. In the military, one learns to fall asleep quickly, even in the most inhospitable environments. It's vital to staying alert and energized.
Even if he was awake, he can't...
Well, thank you both for keeping watch. Traveler, I'll take over for now. It's your turn to get some sleep.
Sure. This is our second night here, but at least I found out a little more about Paimon's condition. I hope she's been sleeping well the past couple of days. Huh. Why do I feel like I'm being...
What are you spacing out for? Are you reaching your limit too?
How long have we been walking for?
Time's lost all meaning. Ever since we noticed that thing above our heads.
A star key? Or key star? Anyway, the person who named it was swallowed by the black mist.
Whatever it's called, ever since we noticed it. But it seems like no matter how far we walk, we never get any closer.
Well, we've come this far. You never know. Maybe we're almost there? Come on.
Here comes another one.
Monsters! Watch out! Not again! I've lost count of how many times we've run into them. Be careful!
What the hell? What the? I'm back! Shut up! Run faster. We got ourselves a straggler. Here comes another one.
You wanna fight? Let's go!
Monsters ahead of us? The black mist behind us? It feels like there's no escape.
Fine. Back up here. Shut up. Run faster.
Are you hurt, Coolish?
No. I'm fine. It's just... Suddenly I don't want to walk any further.
I get you. In fact, I reached my limit a long time ago.
Yeah. The hope that the star gives us is the only thing keeping us going. Otherwise, why would it always be out of reach?
We know you mean well, but you're only saying that to try and encourage us to keep going, aren't you?
Thank you, friend. But enough is enough. You're going to continue, aren't you? I admire that. I've given up, but I wish you the best.
It's not an illusion. We really are getting closer to the star.
Congratulations. You're the first person to make it here. I'm the star's envoy. The black mist has stopped rising. Its hunger is satisfied for now, having devoured your two companions. This is a good opportunity. I'll let you get some rest before we continue. What do you mean, leave? The star represents the starting point. Congratulations on reaching the starting point. Once you are ready, we will head out and walk upwards. Huh? What's wrong? Hey, don't give up before the journey's even begun.
Is that DeNinth's voice? What?
Coolish, wake up! Please wake up!
The situation is identical to that of the two casualties yesterday.
At least there are some elements that we can rule out this time.
Rampana. Coolish.
Weren't some of us keeping watch last night? 3 of us, in fact. How could you not notice something was wrong?
I'm as confused as you are. Certainly nothing unusual happened on—
Likewise, and from what I've observed so far, both Miss Odette and the Traveler can be trusted.
To be honest, I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I couldn't help but think I was the target, so I just laid there with my eyes closed. I heard the Traveler and Lelik chanting, but otherwise I don't recall hearing any commotion during the night.
Me too. I didn't want to wake everyone up, so I was— Then, what could possibly be causing this? Once was bad enough. I can't believe it happened again. I worked closely with Rampana and Coolish for so long. I never imagined that one day they'd— And on this stage of all places— Voroyanitsa.
4 victims in just 2 days, and we still don't have a single lead. I need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. And above all, keep Tonya safe.
Still snowing?
Yes, I just checked. Still no sign of anyone outside either.
So we only have ourselves to rely on.
If you ask me, this killer can clearly strike whenever they please. The Night Watch was a useless endeavor from the start. Lelik must be an expert in poisoning. Clearly she used some poison that can't be detected on the corpse.
Here we go again.
Listen, I was already thinking to myself last night, she's been playing us for fools. You get off on this, don't you? Revealing your identity, only to carry on with your killing spree?
That's a hideous thought. One that only a hideous mind like yours could dream.
How dare you?
That's enough. Yesterday, you named Lelik as a suspect because the victims were both wealthy merchants. But today's victims were just ordinary people. Not to mention that they were colleagues of Odette and mine.
Who knows? Maybe you don't know her as well as you think. I implore you all to ask yourselves, how many people are there really in this world that Lelik is well known to be a ruthless operator, and now she has revealed her identity? How could it be any more obvious?
Everything you've said so far is still just conjecture, which doesn't constitute a concrete lead. You need to back up your claims with some evidence.
How can you defend her, officer? Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. You military types are always colluding with criminals to target the rich. All so you can get your grubby paws on our hard-earned fortunes, then tell us to fall in line. Don't you dare!
Sir, but... You were the one who told us not to stop other people from expressing their opinions yesterday. 4 people have already died. Only yesterday I was chatting with Mr. Coolish. Turning against one another is the last thing we should be doing right now.
Little girl.
Even if Mr. Chuganov is a puffed-up, pig-headed windbag who doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, he's still one of the victims here, isn't he?
I had no intention of resorting to violence. But you're right, Miss Tonia. In any case, I believe Mr. Chuganov has calmed down a little now.
I don't think there's any need for that. What is there to discuss? Nothing about this situation is normal.
Did you have an idea, Mitya? You're the brainiac here, right? Come on, clue us in.
I've been mulling something over. All the leads we have so far concern things from outside the theater. But then there's the 2 double murder crime scenes themselves.
So what are you suggesting?
I think this could be a supernatural event. It isn't characteristic of human-on-human homicide at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you supposed to be a scientist?
I got into scientific research because of my insatiable curiosity.
Now that you mention it, I remember when I first came to the theater. I heard rumors about this place being haunted. Haunted?
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. But I mean, they're only rumors, right?
Well, this has taken an unexpected turn.
Why don't we take this opportunity to look for clues again with a more open mind? Maybe a different perspective will help us see something different.
Very well. Whether it's criminals or ghosts we're looking for, the same rules apply.